you guys have not tried out the Prize Picks app by now, Prize Picks is by far the best. Instead of choosing teams, you can choose individual players. So each player is a set projection. You either go more or less than that set projection. You can still choose projections on players, but finally on Prize Picks, you can choose teams. So you can go on the Prize Picks app now and literally just choose who you think is gonna win. You can also choose the spread, and you can choose the total on games. They have culture events too, like crypto, politics, entertainment. It's absolutely insane. Try out code NELK. Take advantage of this code if you've never tried it. If you put in $5, you're gonna get $50 for free. But guys, I'm so fired up about these new additions to Prize Picks. Complete game changer. I'm gonna be firing more than I already am. Shout out to Prize Picks. Use code NELK. Let's get into this video.
How many kids do you have?
3.
What are their ages?
23, 21, 19. So, oh my God.
What's it like having kids at that age? I feel like that's when they start to get a little...
It's getting easier.
Oh, it's getting easier at that age.
The 19-year-old, she's a sophomore at Ole Miss. Sorority. She's actually in the same sorority as Lane Kiffin's daughter.
Okay.
You know that whole Lane Kiffin chaos at Ole Miss? He's awesome.
What's going on with that?
Well, not him in particular, just Ole Miss.
Okay.
And sororities and the South and SEC. So she's having the time of her life. She's awesome. So she's a baby. And then my son's in the middle of these two, I always say like these two psycho girls of mine. And he's a saint. And he goes to High Point University. And then the oldest is one that has a job in Nashville, JOB. She actually got a job. Like real adult, paying bills.
What's the hardest part of being a mom and your favorite part?
My favorite part is like probably kind of cliche, but the second you have a child, especially as a woman, birth a child, because FYI, men can't do that, despite what people like to say. Doesn't happen. Impossible. Like, it's just not about you. You know what I mean? And you now are responsible for this human. And I did it 2 more times. So it's just that whole thing about you never really understand love until then. Like, it's legit because like she came from me.
I know.
Sorry to be graphic.
That's what I'm starting to realize now too. Like all the shit I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised my parents didn't strangle me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I fucking created you.
Correct.
And you're like gonna like talk back to me and like, it's funny.
Yeah. Like I gave you life and this is how you treat me.
Like literally you came out of me like, shut up.
Like have respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's I think the hardest part is now because of where this world is and with all the stuff that we're doing in social media and what they think is reality versus what is. And then I'm just the old, psycho mom in their eyes. And I'm like, no, this is real. And this is not like, this is a fake life over here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part's hard because you do sound like just the annoying old parent, but like it's a lot scarier than when I was a kid. It's a whole different world, like what you guys are seeing,
Do you have a rule? Yeah. How strict are you with your rules with social media and stuff like that?
Well, they're like 19 plus.
No, once they leave your house, like the baby's 19, you got to give up.
Yeah.
Like I kind of gave up. I don't want to say gave up. I had to loosen up like during COVID years because we were locked up in the Northeast. You know what I mean? They locked us up. We were stuck in the house, no school, no sports, no nothing. So all they had was social media and was their phone. Was like, that's when all the TikTok, I feel like that's when all the TikTok craze really began, like with the dances and the moms and dads doing lame dances. I feel like that's when it really went crazy, but that's the only outlet they had. So I had to loosen up then.
I feel like TikTok, am I cool to curse in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. You're like a sweet mom. I don't know if that's cool or not, but
I don't know. I'm a mom.
No, you're cooler than I thought right away.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Not as a diss, but when you walked in, I was like, oh shit, she's cool as hell.
I feel like the TikTok whole era is fucking up the kids pretty bad. And I just like, but specifically talk about one person, but like I look at Kim Kardashian's daughter, Northwest. I don't know if you've seen her.
Yep.
But she has like teeth done, blue hair, 12 years old. And it just seems like this social media can really affect these kids in a negative way.
Is she like that all the time or was that for like Halloween?
No, that's her new look.
Oh.
And she goes around flipping off cameras and stuff. Okay, yes, social media, and that's certainly the influence, but who's helped create that? Her mom. And how about parenting?
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't get a grill. No, your hair's not blue. No, you don't act like a jerk to adults, to other human beings. Like, that's called parenting, and it's hard. But
she also has got Kanye's genes though too. We can't blame Kim for everything on that one.
She was the one that had babies
I
with
know,
him.
but like, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, at some point, there's decisions along the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, Connie's not even around that much from what I've heard, right?
Yeah.
So as a mom, and by the way, I respect the heck out of her. She's like,
I fuck with Kim K.
a hard worker.
She's a
Like,
boss.
She's earned all of it. Like, I love that and I respect that. And I'm also like, who's the parent? No. Like, you have to say no. You have to crush them at times. But my dad was he's still alive, but retired Army colonel, like military, West Point, push-ups. Like, I grew up like that, where there's it's very black and white. This is what you were supposed to do. You chose not to, so there's consequences. Like, I'm not saying it's easy all the time, but it is when you look at it.
Me, that was my upbringing too.
Really?
Yeah, report card when I got home. If I got below a B, punishment, grounding, like stuff like that.
Accountability.
Can't drive the Mercedes for a whole 24 hours.
Yeah. Lost the Benz a couple times. If I got caught, I got smoking weed, got drug tested.
You got drug tested by your dad?
Yeah.
By Harvey Steinberg?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Passed it too. and I was definitely in my system. So.
Did you? I was gonna say, what did you put in the test? You had that bottle of water on the side when you took the test.
I had a friend pee for me one time.
There you go.
Yeah, and then I just drank a lot of water and Gatorade for like a week building up to it.
Oh, because you knew it was coming. Well, that's his mistake. We can't tell you that it's coming. I bought them and administered them too to my kids.
Yeah,
really?
Is that crossing the line? Because it's
what do you mean?
Like, at what age were they? I was 8. I was 17. 18.
That's interesting.
15, 16.
Okay, so maybe that makes sense.
But I don't care. Like, as long as you're in my house, number one, and then number two, if you're receiving a penny from me, you're not an adult yet. Sorry. Yeah. And so those are my rules. And if you smoke, if you do any of it, like, no, you're out.
Yeah.
I mean, not out. I'm not kicking you out, but there's consequences. Like, to me, it's so simple.
Did they pass or no?
Yes.
Any few failures sometimes?
No failures. I think she knew. I didn't tell her, but I think she knew it was coming. But again, she was grounded a lot. And you know what she said literally last week? She goes, Mom, you're a hard ass, and I'm definitely harder than their dad. And she goes, you were hard, and I thought you were awful at the time. She's like, but you needed to do more. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was a struggle because I was always the mean parent. But for her to now at 23 be like, oh, I'm going to be harder than you, that means we're doing the right thing.
I don't find you very intimidating. I couldn't see
I am very intimidating. I don't know why. You're sitting far away, though.
Yeah, but I'd have to piss you off or say something crazy.
No, Sage could be a hard ass too.
Yeah.
You don't want to underestimate her kindness for like weakness.
You know
I can just tell, bro.
What, there's like a dark side?
Not dark, but stern.
Why are you being a racist?
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Here we go.
Why is that? Why?
Here we go. And I was gonna bring up Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I can't wait for
you could have said strong side, but you said dark side.
Just like the evil side.
Oh, evil too. Yeah. Black people are evil. It's cool.
That's so crazy how you can just get away with that.
It's good. I'm glad we got this out of the way at the beginning.
Get away with that. And now I'm supposed to say I have all my friends are black.
Oh no, I have black neighbors. Exactly. What was the question?
Now we got to change up.
No. Am I? Quick. Do I have a dark side? Yeah. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to get me really mad. But when I do, I mentioned it the other day. I felt something happened the other day, and I felt this like fire coming out of my chest. And then I do have to watch my language, especially on my mom. I try to be respectful. My parents are my best friends besides my husband. And they're 79 and 76, and they're awesome. And, they're super cool. But there's like a respect thing too. I feel like around parents where I don't need to say the F word. And then I have like Christian guilt, Catholic guilt, black guilt, half black guilt because I'm not black enough guilt, and white guilt, and all the guilt. And I have this sign in my office that says, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. And I'm like, I think that's kind of perfect because I do, but then I've got a potty mouth. So how do I balance that? So that's what happens when I get mad is then my mouth goes south.
What was a moment you were like, specific moment where you're like, ESPN, I'm done with it?
Big Ace.
Like, was there a specific moment where you were like, all right, that's it. I'm done with ESPN?
Yeah. I mean, it built up to it, but the turning point was I got suspended and was actually like, okay, I'm sorry, because I, never wanted to upset anybody. I got suspended for talking about being forced to take the vaccine, which I thought was wrong.
Online or offline?
on a podcast, on an off day on a podcast. It was Jay Cutler's podcast. He had just started his new show. I think I was like his third guest. And he asked me, because I had literally just come from getting shot. And I was livid. Like, I was pissed.
Did you not anticipate repercussions from saying that on the Color podcast?
It was like, honestly, so organic. It was a conversation. And I didn't think about it because I complied with the rules. I took your shot. I took your fake shot. Like, I did it. But no, if you look back at the video on the actual podcast with Cutler, there was some hesitation because I knew, like, this is a touchy subject, but I did it. I complied. So I can still have an opinion that I think it's wrong to do it, but I complied. The turning point after that was, okay, for saying that, they suspended me, took me off the air for almost 2 weeks, made me publicly apologize, like issue a whole statement, took assignments away for a long time. Like, I hosted the Rose Parade out in Pasadena and the New York City Marathon, like all these things that were important to me, took them away. And I was like, okay, fine, back to work. You know, I was scared and embarrassed and like, oh my God. And then the problem was that they kept allowing my peers to go on ESPN airwaves and talk about things that had nothing to do with sports, like abortion on an NBA show. Sorry. That's one of the problems with ESPN. Through the years, they've allowed, crossover where people come to ESPN and any sports network to do what? To watch sports and talk sports. We don't really care about your politics on ESPN. Viewers usually don't. Or an NFL show to talk about the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, allegedly. Never said those words in the bill if you took a second to read it. So when I saw that hypocrisy of allowing all those people to do it on ESPN, nothing to do with sports, but then I'm on a side podcast talking about a shot that I actually complied with. It's just the hypocrisy of it. So that's when I was like, hell no, you can't. I mean, you can, but now I'm going to push back because I was a model employee for 16, 17 years. And that hypocrisy was like too far.
That's actually something I noticed. I don't really want to call him out, but like, that's why I don't really agree with SVP, is because he's there talking he does after the games, does a sports show, and then he'll start talking about politics. And it's, in my mind, you're using ESPN's platform. It's not your platform, it's ESPN's. And you're talking about something and you have a lot of power and you're very opinionated and it's not about sports. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, how is he allowed to use this platform and talk about this stuff and kind of give listeners his opinion and try and persuade them a certain type of way about something that has nothing to do with sports?
That's the problem.
And
that was my point.
I stopped watching ESPN after that. So
and
unfortunately, what the hell is this?
Millions of people have, but that's the problem. What is the rule?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to or not? And if we are, fine, but you can't pick and choose. It can't be just the liberal woke agenda that Disney is all about. And I did mine away from ESPN on purpose. Again, it wasn't intentional. It was a reaction. I had just come from getting the shot like 20 minutes before, so I was a little hot. But I still would never have said that on TV. I would never have said that I think it's wrong on ESPN because that's not why you're watching me. Do you know what I mean? I had respect for the network and the profession in that way. So when they did that, repeatedly, and all I did was ask for consistency and then an apology for punishing me publicly, and they said no, so I filed a lawsuit against Disney. Once you file a lawsuit against your employer that you're still working for, and I'm still on their TV screens every day while I'm suing them, I knew that's the end of my time there.
Yeah,
it took 22 months, like from suspension to the lawsuit settling with Disney. It was almost 2 full years. So I was still going on TV every day while I'm suing them. It was crazy.
Are you allowed to say what the settlement ended as?
A settlement.
Disney, that's got to be pretty decent.
Well, it's more about I'll just say this. The fact that I'm allowed to talk about my whole experience there and the fact that I sued them and why I sued them and all that came with it, the behind the scenes leading up to the lawsuit. Most people aren't able to speak after they settle. And
so you had some leverage.
I'm really happy with the settlement because most importantly, like, think about the hypocrisy of I sue them for kind of silencing me. So freedom of speech in many ways, even though it's not under the Constitution, there is a statute in the state of Connecticut where ESPN is, where you are actually allowed to be critical of your employer if you're complying with their rules. And I was. And again, I didn't know that going in, but when we did some research afterwards, yeah. But for me to, if I sued them under that overall, again, the First Amendment, state of Connecticut, employment law, not Constitution. and over silencing me. But then I settle a lawsuit and stay silent. Like there's hypocrisy in that, right? So super important for me to be able to speak, and not for me because my time there is over, right? But other people at ESPN who feel silenced. How about other people at companies around this country who feel silenced and afraid and fearful that they can only say one thing? If they believe this, it's fine. If you believe this, you're out. So my goal was to talk about it. So other employers, maybe just be fair and equal. Don't pick and choose who you allow to speak. That's all I ever wanted. So that's why it's important. That's why it was important for me to stand up, even though it was really scary. And I didn't ever want to blow up my career. Like I loved that job. But sometimes principle matters.
What's your thought on the NBA gambling situation right now with Billups and Rozier? You think like the FBI is going to crack down on more players? Like gambling in games and whatnot?
I hope so. If that's happening, it's ruining the integrity of the game. You know, it sucks because I didn't know Terry, but I knew Chauncey. I worked with Chauncey a lot. I don't know if people remember, he worked at ESPN after his career before he took that Portland job, which was like his first coaching job. You know, I mean, I would sit on set with him or in the break room and we'd, you know, go over his segments and, as far as an analyst, like how are you better? Because he was just coming into TV. People don't understand, by the way, like it's one thing to be a great player. It's another thing to be able to actually talk about it and break down plays on TV. These are two very different things. And so he was, you know, wanting to learn, and we were friends. We were on the road for years for the finals and stuff. So it sucks for me to see it. Yes, I think they're going to continue to crack down. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. When you have Hall of Famer like Chauncey Billups, right? When you have NBA players, active NBA players and coaches tied in with the mafia.
That's insane.
Like when I heard that, it gave me chills. Like that's a whole other level. What was it, 10, 12 years ago, maybe longer, with Tim Donaghy, the NBA referee that was involved in it. That was a major scandal. I don't know if you remember, because how old were you then? Do I even want to know? You were like 4.
Oh, yeah. About like 4 or 5.
And diapers. Like, no big deal.
He wasn't fixing games, right? He was just giving tips of who was maybe playing and who wasn't.
I don't even remember all the details. It was deeper than that.
Has there been discovery about like why he did it, or was he like, was he forced to, or was he not?
Who?
Billups.
That hasn't come out yet.
That's not. I can't wait to learn all about it. But literally, it comes down to what? Always the almighty dollar. And at the end of the day, for Kash Patel, for them to have a press conference the way that they did, I mean, this has been a years-long investigation. This has been going on for so long. How about the glasses that they were wearing? I mean, this is really super deep. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. But they had to do it this way to send a message, right? By using an active head coach and an active player. But with the mafia, like 4 of the 5 biggest mafia families involved in this, there's going to be so many heads rolling. I hope not literally, but like this is massive. And it sucks because the NBA, you know, except for like the playoffs and the finals, overall during the regular season, those numbers haven't been great over the last 5 to 10 years. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it timing wise, with all the wokeness and the chaos. I mean, look at what's on the courts and Black Lives Matter and all the political statements, even on the back of jerseys for a long time, everybody kneeling. And then if you didn't kneel, then you're a racist and a sellout. Like, I feel like they've overplayed their hand there, and it's really unfortunate. So the fact that it happened at the beginning of the season, there's going to be more to come.
Do you think there was any meaning of Billups wearing the Clutch Sports hoodie, walking out of the where was he at?
It's conspiracy.
I don't know.
He was walking out of.
I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of like, I don't know if you could say anything about that, but
I don't know.
That had a little bit of meaning. I felt like.
I don't know. What I do know is that everything these guys put on is intentional. They're too smart. Like when you are sitting down for an interview, when you know there's cameras everywhere, you are intentional about what you're wearing. That hat is not a coincidence that you're wearing a Happy Dad hat.
If the FBI shows up at your house and they tell you you're getting arrested, you probably just throw something on and walk out.
Maybe.
Like, remember Aaron Hernandez just throwing a white tee?
True. Oh my God. Aaron Hernandez. I remember being at ESPN during the whole time. Yeah. True. But, and I haven't gone that deep about it with Clutch. I actually haven't. But I just
found it interesting. He just wore it and was walking out with it. But I don't know.
I just think no matter, well, and it's probably a good point, because no matter what, so many people knew about this. So many people had to for all these years. So it makes me sad, because actually when I started to cover NBA, just NBA from like 2013 2013 through 2019. Sorry, 13 through 17, I was just NBA. And so I was on the road. I mean, hosted NBA Countdown. So on the road for all the conference finals games, like all of it. I fell in love with it because I feel like it's one of the few sports where you can actually feel it. You can be closer and they don't wear a mask. Right? A helmet, anything. I say mask like it's COVID time. A helmet, anything covering their face. So you can see everything. You can see their emotions. You can see when they're mad or, hurting and pain, whatever it is. And so with basketball, like you're right there. You can see it and feel it all. So I fell in love with it because of that ability and because it's smaller than football. So you can get to know people. You can get to know, like stories and behind the scenes stuff. So I loved it, but I feel like they're literally killing themselves with this stuff.
What was your favorite NBA finals you've covered? Or sporting event, honestly?
You covered Jordan a lot, right?
You're totally aging me, but yes.
That's pretty cool.
I know. So that's why, to me, when people bring up the LeBron Jordan debate, even my son, I'm like, go away.
Yeah, I hate that conversation.
Go away. You guys didn't.
No one's gonna change their minds in the
Yeah,
We
and
just
it's
did
fine.
Skip Bayless, so we did a whole podcast about that.
It's
But
old generation versus new generation. It's like the same thing.
It is, but here's the thing. Like everyone now who says LeBron, most of them weren't alive or old enough to watch Jordan and to appreciate it and to feel and see the difference and to appreciate how different the league was then. I mean, defensively, it was so much tougher. The rules were
Let me
different.
just tell you, because people always make that argument, and Stephen A. made that argument, but the talent today is far superior than it was back then, and I think we can agree on that.
We're about to get into it now.
I don't think
a lot of those guys are getting time in today's NBA, for being real.
I don't know. I think, again, just like you said, that the argument is ridiculous to have LeBron and Jordan. Maybe it's this is the same thing because we'll never know. So we can sit here and debate it. But I would love to see Jordan in this league today. I think here's the other thing, the intangible that LeBron does not have. First of all, how many teams did Michael Jordan play for?
2.
Do you count the Wizards, really?
No, but I mean, if you're asking, he played for 2 teams.
Okay. Who did he play for?
The Bulls.
Jordan.
Like,
The Bulls, yeah.
Bulls. So how many teams have these other how about Kevin Durant right now? Like, he is beyond a generational talent.
Yeah.
And look, every time it isn't going well, you leave, you run away. So I think that there's some intangibles with that other generation, the prior generation led by Michael Jordan, where it's like, hell no, we're going to win and we're going to lose together and we're going to fight, we're going to claw, and I'm going to uplift you. Did you watch The Last Dance? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, incredible. Like, I got emotional watching some of it because I got to see some of it in person and because no one will ever understand, and I can't either because I wasn't in those locker rooms with him. But there's no one in the league right now that's really doing that. I do think Stephen Curry is able to do that in very different ways than Michael Jordan. He is glue. He's that guy. He just does it quietly. But look at the hatred that came Michael's way. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's almost like having a really annoying, heavy-handed, strict parent. That's what Michael was, because he's like, I am not wasting my time if you all are not in this with me. And if you're not, get the hell out. So who does that these days? Give me an athlete in the NBA that really does that right now. In the NFL, Tom Brady did that. Peyton Manning did that.
In terms of being loyal to their team and
Well, loyalty for sure. And I know it's a different league, right? So again, can you even compare? Because look at free agency and look at the money. But I love that those guys, the bad boy Detroit Pistons, hated the Bulls. I love that, like, it wasn't just on the court and then they're going to go hang out on a banana boat with Dwayne Wade afterwards and hang out and vacation together. No, there's like real hatred. And I love that. So those playoff series, I mean, I witnessed Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals in, what year was that? 95, 96, whatever year it was, when Reggie,
yeah, of course.
in 8 seconds,
Yeah.
like I was in Indianapolis at that time, like witnessing that whole thing and the hatred and Spike Lee, like I would do anything to go back to those times. And I mean, I know I sound like that old man, get off my lawn, 100%, but like, it's just different.
Is there more egos now, you think?
Well, the fact that everybody's like this with their phones and everything is
Maybe social media like created a lot more egos with like
Oh, it
players and
did.
stuff, right?
100%. It did. I mean, not that there weren't massive egos then, but it just wasn't on display for the whole world to see. And all that mattered was basketball. Now, were there other things going on behind the scenes? Yeah, but we didn't know about it. And then they weren't able to make money based on this post or that post and, marketing. Everything was different. It's no one's fault. Like, we can't fault today's players for it because it is a different generation, just like our kids who have the phones, and it's a different generation. But at the end of the day, that's why I think it's so hard to compare. And because I saw it, I would 100 times out of 100 want to be watching that basketball, want to be on those teams, want to be broadcasting about those teams, not these guys where the next time something goes wrong or you don't like your coach, then you bitch about it and you get him fired or you ask for a trade. Like, it's so annoying. How many teams has Kevin Durant been on now?
Okay,
Seattle,
a lot
Oklahoma
of KD
City,
shade. I know.
Golden
KD,
State,
that's my boy. So
Brooklyn,
KD's the man.
Houston. And by the way,
Phoenix too.
hi, where is he now? Houston?
Houston.
Houston.
But guess what? This is why it's a problem, because he's, how old is he? 37, 38?
Yeah.
And he's making $40 million a year. So.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that part's not their fault. But what's here does matter. You don't think Stephen Curry could have gone somewhere else and gotten more marketing, a slightly bigger market? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. There's something that you can't teach that some of those players have. Very few have it today. And I don't think it's necessarily their fault. But back then it was different. It was different. And I hate it when they run away like a little, you know what? I know my mom will watch this. When they run away like a little bitch, I have nothing for them.
I want to say that about KD's daddy.
But that's your boy. But I get it. The money part. What I don't get is the loyalty. Here's one thing, and then I'll shut up.
But is it always up to the player? Like, couldn't it be like some part of the team that tries to kick them out or like starts treating them like shit where they're like...
Players run the teams. Players totally run the teams. I think we all know that. Also, what people don't talk about is in Golden State, when he wanted to leave Oklahoma City, he and Russell Westbrook weren't getting along, right? So... And they lost to the Warriors in the playoffs. Remember all the crap he got for then? Yeah, they're up 3-1. For then, wasn't that the kicking games and all that? But yeah. And then to go to the team that just beat you, remember he got a bunch of crap for that. In order to go there, what had to happen? You had Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. They were already a big three. They had already won a title. They were great, but they knew they needed a little bit more. So what did those three massive global superstars do? They stepped back. They got on a plane. They went to the Hamptons. They met with KD, and they took a step back themselves to allow this guy, because he's a generational talent, one of the all-time greats, obviously, to feel welcome to come in. They stepped back their egos, and they went and got him, and they brought him in. And what'd they do? They won. And KD was a massive difference maker. And then I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but all of a sudden, and he wants out. Like, well, KD, you talk about a dynasty that could easily have rivaled anyone in history if KD stays.
Yeah, I think.
And he left, and the way he handled it was crappy.
I think two things is that KD also played a big role by it. He kind of put his ego aside because he knew that was Stephen Curry's team.
He knew he needed a ring.
Yeah.
And that's how he was going to get one, is to go to the team that beat him.
He had all the fans, everyone literally coming at him for years, to the point where he was like, wow, maybe I got to go out there and prove I can win a championship without these guys.
He did not have fans coming after him until he left Oklahoma City to join the team that just beat him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
Didn't him and Westbrook have personal beef though?
They weren't meshing on the court.
Yeah, they were making it.
They were making it to the Western Conference Finals, and they were making it deep. But
Russell was tough. Russell's a tough teammate.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think what KD did wasn't like. I don't think it was that bad. I get it in the moment. It was crazy, but 2-time Final MVP. I mean, he's won 2
I didn't
NBA
mind that he
champions.
did it. I think what was sad was that he took it so personally when the fans came after him. So that's another reason why I love him. Like, I can criticize somebody, but still really love and respect them. And that's how I feel about him, because I think he's actually like super sensitive, and his relationship with his mother, like, he's a good guy and he's sensitive. And when these fans across the whole sport came after him, that hurt him. And then he got mad. So he went to Golden State hurt and mad. And it worked out because he was KD and he did it and he led the way and he got hurt too. So I try to understand the human element of this, not just the critical, okay, what'd you do and you're soft. No, there's definitely more to it. But that is what comes when you're making $40 million a year. And then when you jump around.
Do you think athletes today are too sensitive with the media?
I think a lot of them are, but I also think the media sucks. I mean, half the time they don't even ask good questions. I think it's just again, it's all changed. And again, I'm going to sound like an old person, but like it's just different when you can ask tough, honest, genuine questions. And as the media, you shouldn't be trying to just get clicks. It shouldn't be a gotcha question, you know, like let's ask really, I wasn't in that huddle. Were you? No, we weren't. So as the media, like I want to know, what was the conversation in that huddle? What was the game plan coming in? Because you said you're going to, you know, give so-and-so the ball, you know, a minimum of 20 to 25 times. That's what a good running back's going to get going. And then you give it to him 12 times. You know, what changed during the game? Like ask educated questions and then you'll get more respect from the athletes and the coaches. So I think yes, the athletes are super sensitive now, which goes along with how the whole world is about things more important than sports, for goodness sake. But as the media, sports media, I mean, look at news. Like no one watches, you know, those main networks on, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS anymore because they've lost all credibility. That is part of it as well. When you don't do your homework and don't come in with good questions on any level, as an athlete, as a politician, as an artist, I wouldn't respect the media either.
Everything now is just about like shorter and clips too. Like people just want like
and like I'll be honest, I struggled with that. Like starting my show, I struggled because like I get it. I know it's clips and clicks and all that, but I feel like conversations don't happen. And that's why, like, my show is super long form and probably too long at times. I don't know. You guys can give me advice because I'm still newer to this space. Like, I'm really learning. But I'm convinced that when you have a conversation with somebody, like, you'll understand more about their reasoning why. I would love to have a real deep sit down with Kevin Durant about this stuff because that's what I'm saying is, like...
We need Katie on the pod. He just did Bobby.
That needs to happen. That needs to happen.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. But also, a lot of guys are probably afraid to go really deep because then what will happen if they open up? Then they'll get crushed over here. Or if someone sits down with me because I'm considered a sellout right-wing nut job, then, well, he might want to sit with me, but wouldn't because then what would his boys say? Like, it's just so sad what it's done.
Or just, yeah, because
at the end of the day, the reason why we're in this place, in this country, sports, politics, whatever, is because of a lack of deep conversations. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, there's a show on Netflix, I don't know what it's called, Starting Five maybe, but it's on KD, Harden, I don't know if you've seen it, but they're in like a more comfortable like atmosphere.
It's the players doing it themselves.
Well, they're getting interviewed. There's the interviewer's not on camera. They talk about like why the Nets didn't work out. KD says Harden didn't want to be there. Like they actually dive into stuff that
Which I love.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that.
Because it's different and they're not like getting pressed. It's more like in a comfortable environment. It's really good.
I love that. So, and that's why they started to create, what was the initial website? Like Derek Jeter was involved in it and it was the players...
I'm not sure.
Tribune, maybe.
Yeah.
And the players were coming out and writing those pieces. So then they had control of what was coming out versus media, which I thought was brilliant because there's a lack of trust. And and that's what I took so much pride in back in the day when I was able to be in locker rooms and talking to those guys because they would see me in person and see that I was consistent. I wouldn't say something and then not show up in the locker room, which a lot of reporters would do. Like, you can do this, but then you don't show up. Then again, you lose respect. But like that personal side of it is super important to me to build the trust. And then when something bad happens, we'll have a conversation about it, but I have to do my job, but I will do it fairly. You know what I mean?
I think once these guys start to come out of the league, they're going to be way more open in storytelling. Like, have you seen Jeff Teague? His podcast, like he literally tells you everything that you would never expect to hear.
I love that.
Says, hey, anytime, just so you guys know, anytime I say anything bad about LeBron, I get a call from someone from his team saying, hey, ease up on that. Don't talk about him. And he openly says that. Well,
and think about that. So that's another reason why media members and journalists don't always do their job. And networks, let's start there. Because they know that if they tick off the wrong person, then they're going to get a call from LeBron's agent or whoever, by the way, let's not pick on LeBron. It goes into any sport where the agent will call and not only criticize you, but you're probably not going to get access to that athlete again. And then he's going to tell his boy and his boy's going to tell his boy. And before you know it, you are out. So that's why people don't do their jobs because of the fear of being cut out, which means what? The viewers who don't have access like we do, the viewers don't get the real story. They don't get the good interviews because everybody's living in fear.
Yeah. How much do you cover the WNBA?
Well, at ESPN when I was there?
Yeah.
it was a contract with them, so they covered it. I remember pushing 10 years ago, pushing to do it more because I knew these women were working their butts off. And one of my best friends in the world is Becky Hammon, the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces.
She's the head coach
Becky Hammon?
of the Aces?
Where have you been?
Oh my God. I thought she was still with the Spurs with Pop.
Oh my God. They've won
I didn't even know that.
3 of the last 4 championships.
Yeah, she's great. I just remember her with Pop.
It's been like 4 years.
Okay.
And she's winning all these championships.
Is this the biggest the WNBA's been in like a long time? Like the last year or two?
I don't know because back at the beginning with like Lisa Leslie, some of those greats, it was big. Yeah, it's huge now, and I'm biased because of her. But I also, there's a lot of back and forth, and they hate the commissioner now, and they're trying to kick the commissioner out. So who knows? Like, I was at game 2 of the finals, Aces and the Mercury, and it was great. The atmosphere, by the way, if you're in Vegas for those Aces games, go. It's awesome. And Ayesha Wilson, one of the, all-time great players. The NBA guys show up and watch her play. Watch a lot of these ladies play, But I will say, like, for as much as it's grown, and it's been 25 years of the WNBA, believe it or not, sometimes they hold themselves back and making, some of the political statements again that's just not necessary when we're trying to like build the league, build the brand, continue to push women in sports. And then these are the same group of women who won't stand up and say, yeah, men don't belong in our sport. Obviously, it's not an issue as much in the WNBA, but like we have a thing in soccer right now where someone's getting crushed for trying to keep it women. Obviously, all the other sports, and Riley Gaines, who I just had on my show, who's the strongest young woman I know,
Swimming,
for
right?
speaking common sense, guys. So I think sometimes these women's leagues don't help themselves by not saying the obvious.
Do you have an overall like opinion on the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, just how it's back and forth? Angel Reese is portrayed as a villain. Like people like to bring race into it.
People always bring race into everything now. I'm so tired. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. No, I think it has done exactly what a lot of people hoped it would do, which is boost ratings.
The WNBA way bigger than it would ever be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I guess with the addition of Caitlin, who I love, I don't care. I wouldn't care if she's green. Like, she's a great player. She's a great ball handler. She's a great everything. When people complain about the attention that she's getting, you're all winning financially and attention-wise because of it. So why is this a bad thing? When she was in college, there were people mad that they set, television ratings records because of her. Like, why is this a bad thing? If it were Angel Reese, if it were a black player, would that be better? Like, at the end of the day, it's a win-win-win, I would think. Remember, there's also people who talk about the race aspect of it with her, and also the fact that she's not gay. That annoys people because it brings them back to this all-American girl that they think, the white privilege, etc. At the end of the day, the league is so much better off for it. I hate that she wasn't able to play at the end of the playoffs. The Aces played Indiana, the Fever, to get to the finals, and it it took in the entire series to get through them. And it sucks that Caitlin wasn't there, but you know what? She's so tough.
Yeah, she is.
She can handle.
She's an absolute shooter.
But mentally, she can handle all of this. She can. She's got a great family. She's got a great support system. And she's like, you know what? You want to hate on me? Fine. And also counting her money and all the other ways. Like, get it.
Yeah.
I love her and what she's done for the sport.
Do you think WNBA players are underpaid?
I think it's market value. And at the end of the day, if the NBA is still needing to help and subsidize the WNBA, so be it. Fortunately, there are other ways for them to make money, and a lot of them are. Like, it sucks that maybe in some ways it sucks to them that they have to go overseas. And I know Becky Hammon played in Russia. You know what I mean? These women are going across the world. The season's short. It's a really short season, so you can go do those other things. There's a million other ways. They're making a ton social media marketing. Would I love for it to be more for them? Absolutely. But guess what? Market value and ratings equal dollars. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, because they're trying to get rid of the commissioner, and if there's a new CBA, absolutely. But you have to relate it to the money that you're bringing in, period. If ESPN for all those years had not been making any money, I would never have gotten my contract. Stephen A would not have gotten his $100 million contract if the network wasn't making money, if he wasn't helping bring in that money. Like, I do think we have to pay attention to market value, not our feelings, but what dollar amount is coming in. And that's how those salaries are based.
What was your reaction to like dildos being thrown on the WNBA court? That was a pretty crazy moment.
I tried not to pay attention to the green dildos being thrown on the floor.
Why-
Were you part of
It's just
that?
a wild
Why did they
moment.
do that?
Did you start that?
Celine,
I
you threw
did.
the first green one.
I just thought it was a crazy moment. It was like the last thing I've seen.
Yeah, not sure I would have done that.
Steiny got a little
Wild.
zesty when he saw that up for sure. Eh?
No, I didn't. No, I stayed way away from that. I didn't see it.
Did you give your
Wait, why
season?
did
You
they do
gave
that?
your season tickets away, didn't you?
They just,
I did.
I just seen a clip of dildos being thrown and just a bunch of
No,
shit.
it happened a lot, and then people were
like
getting
3 or
thrown
4
out
games.
for
Yeah,
it. It happened.
that's probably just went viral.
It happened. It happened.
You ran on the court and picked it up, I thought. No?
He has a collection at home. Like,
Huh?
Who are the top like 3 commissioners in sports? Besides our good friend Joe Rogan, president of the UFC.
okay, yeah, it's number one. And the fact that you just said that means I'm gonna like end the interview.
That was a hilarious moment.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was clever. You just like slid that in.
Just thought of it, honestly.
You
that
did
was,
it.
That was so funny.
That was the setup.
No, I just thought of it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about commissioners, so I was like, yeah.
I guess, yeah, I didn't even view Dana White as a commissioner, but you're right. He heads up the league. He's the boss.
Dana's the GOAT best commissioner, I think, in
You know,
sports.
Again, I didn't think of him as commissioner because that's not his title, but he is.
Yeah.
CEO, boss. That's a great point. And here's why I would agree with you. Dana does what is right for his sport. Period.
Mm-hmm.
He does not care about politics. He does not care what you think. Think about what he did during COVID.
Yeah.
What did he do with whatchamacallit, the island?
Yeah.
Fight Island, right?
That's when we first met him. We went to Fight Island.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
It was
Like,
insane.
He did what was right for his sport, and it continued. And during that time, for the people who were back at the headquarters, he kept paying them. They all got their salaries. Nothing ever stopped despite the rest of the world stopping. Like, he cares not just about his sport, but about his people. He also lets, the Sean Stricklands of the world say whatever the heck they want to say, no matter who it offends, because that is their right. Like, I was friends with him long before the podcast and long before making the mistake, the brain fart moment. And that's what I love about him is his, like, I don't give a crap what you think. This is what I'm doing, and this is why I think it's right. Even sometime earlier this year, or maybe it was in 2024, after all the Bud Light chaos, and then he thought about it, and he's like, wait a minute. People can make mistakes. Companies can make mistakes. They got rid of the idiot girl who made the decision to bring in the trans whatever to promote Bud Light. That's just, again, another brain fart. Probably not marketing to your core group of Bud Light drinkers by doing that. It's fine. But he was like, okay, fine. They got punished. They're still paying for it. But it's an all-American company that he'd done a lot of business with and overall has a pretty good track record. So I'm going to give you a second chance and bring you on as a sponsor again. Like, who does that? Most people go, yeah, sorry guys, I know we've been friends for 20 years. You've done a lot of great work, but I'll get crushed if I do that. So sorry. No, he is like, I'm going to do it. So I have so much respect for people like that because actually I don't know another commissioner or head of any sport that would do that. Dana does it. So, and I just love how he runs things. He knows how to run a business and he's fearless. Now, is it easy to be fearless when you're that successful and making that much money? Yeah. But,
Kind of, but kind of not too, because I'm sure even during COVID, it's not like, I'm sure he was getting pressure from advertisers too.
Oh, for
and stuff, and
sure.
people saying like, yo, you can't do this.
For
But I think he just
sure.
has the balls where he's like, yo, fuck you. If you don't want to be a part of this, then you're out.
He doesn't-
I'm doing and look how well it worked out. Like the
Oh my
UFC
gosh.
blew up. during
Totally
COVID.
blowing up. And then he creates Power Slap. Like the amount of things that he does. And he's like, I'm just going to go try it. And if it doesn't work, fine. That's business. And when you do your homework on who he is and where he came from and being a bellman at a hotel in Boston, like he did this himself. That's what I love about, like, that's America,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Mhm.
When you're just some kid from nothing in any major city or small podunk town, and you have this dream and you go for it and you get told no 100,000 times. And then along the way, people say yes to you. Donald Trump, you know, he was there for Donald. Donald's been there for him. So that loyalty, that friendship is real because they've been there throughout for each other. So he gets criticized. Remember for the RNC when was that? So it was, I guess, fall.
Summer.
Yeah, it was like August, whenever that was, of 2024, leading up to the election. And he was on vacation with his family in Italy.
He flew in on a
yacht.
Yeah.
Remember, actually, that was super smart, social media wise, right?
Yeah.
So he had all the drones and the cameras.
Yeah.
When the helicopter landed on his yacht in the middle of whatever sea that is in Italy.
Coast, yeah.
Yeah, Amalfi. And then he gets on the chopper, flies away, brings him to land, private jet, to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to give a speech, get right back on the jet, across the world.
Goes back to Italy.
Goes back to his family vacation. It was like 24 hours in and out. I mean, that to me was such a badass moment. But besides the fact that he's able to do it financially, who cares? That's about loyalty. And that's about when your friend, who happens to be running for president, calls and says, I need you. You're the only person I would want to introduce me. How cool is that? But that's because of loyalty. Even in tough times when everybody else calls you, Dana White, a racist for supporting Donald Trump. Like, I love people who say, no, you can't bully me. You can't intimidate me. And it's going to cost. It is in some ways. And he does it anyway. That's the kind of person I want to work for and I want to be associated with.
Mm-hmm. How about besides him, who do you think's another strong commissioner? Or who needs some work?
I mean, I always wanted to like Roger Goodell. I've always wanted to like him. And at the end of the day, I don't understand enough to be able to say bad, good, because there's so much more that goes into these than just the decisions that we see. What I do see is how well that league is doing.
NFL's on fire, right?
It always is. Every year you think it's like peaked and it gets bigger. Even if you're stars, even if you have the Chiefs who are 5-4, like they're not the Chiefs of, past years, but it doesn't matter. Like everybody's winning. When you've got these guys, I love seeing Aiden Hutchinson get a huge contract recently, you know what I mean? But when you see these guys getting, Mahomes, when I was still on SportsCenter, he got a $500 million deal. So you can say what you want about Roger Goodell, but everybody's winning.
I feel like every sport right now has like the biggest talents you've ever seen with Ohtani. Wemby's insane.
Yep.
The NFL just has too many of them. Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, like it's just getting to a point where we've never seen it. Like Wemby's one of a generation, and so is Ohtani.
And he's supposed to be a really good kid too. That makes me excited. I was still at ESPN when they drafted him, and that's the best organization to go to. Pop obviously isn't Pop anymore. He's not there. Health issues. Like we should really keep him in our prayers. But the way the organization's been run, that's a great place to go. Smaller market. It's not New York City, and I love that he's there. And you cannot create that physically.
It's freakish. Like
it's insane.
Watching him play, it's crazy.
It's insane.
I think he's probably going to be the best player ever, or he's a chance to be.
My fear is his health, obviously. And when you're that big, that's not normal.
That guy
obviously.
can pull up from like almost half court and hit a three is just
ridiculous.
Not normal.
Ball handling.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But by the way, if that's my kid and he's 18 getting drafted, like you're living with mom, I'm coming to live with you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do your meals. I'm going to make sure no girls come in here. Like I would be so protective of that kid. And by the way, living in South Florida, right? Hi, Florida Panthers. Sorry, Canadian hockey teams. Like, tell me how South Florida has won Stanley Cup. The Panthers
There's
the
no
last 2
pressure
years.
here too. Like, I don't think people care as much about hockey, right?
Well, it's funny. Then all of a sudden they do, right?
Yeah.
You have your diehards. I have
Or
friends
like media people.
Yeah, no.
Like where I'm from, Toronto, like they can't talk about shit. They can't say shit because it's such a big market.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much like media here for Florida Panthers, right?
Well, in general, NHL.
Like they're ripping golf carts to the game with like flip flops and like they're going to the ball. Like they're doing whatever they want.
Does that hurt you?
No, I like the Panthers. They're a fun team. I go to Panthers games sometimes too. Like the Tkachuk, he's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first team that I ever covered NHL was the Tampa Bay Lightning.
When they're on fire, right? 3 years
when they drafted Vinny LeCavalier. So like this is like late 90s.
Yeah.
And I'd never covered hockey. I was super intimidated just because I'd never done it.
Yeah.
And so I went in there and introduced myself to the coach, Jacques Demare, and the goalie was Darren Pupa. And like Kevin Weeks ended up coming in, and it was such a big thing to have a black player in the NHL, like in the year 2000. It was crazy. And it's funny. I feel like you'd appreciate this. I went in there, and instead of like, I was studying up, I was reading as much as I could, but like, unless you really follow hockey for a long time, you can't appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So I just went in and I was like, I've never done this, but I really want to learn. Can you guys? And those guys took me under their wing. The coaches, they loved that I was honest about it and then was trying and to learn their sport. Hockey players are by far the best athletes to work with from a media perspective. The best. Super humble, just chill. And, you know, people are like, well, the money in the NFL. Yeah, those guys are making a ton of dough in the NHL as well. They're just quieter about it. They're not as flashy. And ever since then, in like 1998 with the Lightning, I've been in love with that sport and that league because of how they are as people. The locker, nothing's worse than a NHL locker room though. Like, oh yeah, you can't breathe because the stink that gets in the pads, like you want to vomit when you walk in NHL locker rooms.
When you get used to it, you kind of like the smell though.
Was that?
I kind of like miss that smell, like growing up playing hockey, honestly. Like you kind of like, I don't know, it's weird, but
you weren't.
No,
you
I
weren't
get
really
it.
One of the sweaty ones, were you?
I mean, I was a house league beauty.
You didn't even need to shower after the game.
I was a house league beauty, but yeah.
I love those guys. I covered the NHL All-Star game, I guess, in 98 or 99. And like Teemu Selanne and like those guys were, so I got to say hi to Wayne Gretzky once. And, you know, I'm like professional, trying to be all professional, but I was like, totally freaked out.
What's been your favorite story you've ever covered or just scandal?
I mean, there were so many scandals, I guess, but it was more like before ESPN, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I was a beat reporter for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So right after their Super Bowl in 2001, I was covering that team. So that was like Shannon Sharp, Tony Siragusa. You guys remember Goose? He died a couple of years ago. He was the best. Ray Lewis was obviously there. Rod Woodson's a Hall of Famer, like defensive back. Ed Reed came in like 2002, 2003. But like to be able to be on the road with those guys, training camp all the way through, because I was on the plane as well, just because I did a magazine show. So like being ingrained in one team and be able to put all your energy and efforts into one team was really cool because it's not just the highlights on Sunday. Like there's so much more to it. And then they're historically probably, I'd say, top 3 ranked as far as best drafting franchises. Yeah. They know how to draft because Ozzie Newsome, Hall of Fame tight end, is at the top of it. And so like when you see how it all happens behind the scenes, you're like, okay, this is not just a team, the organization. So I love that time of being able to be BTS, before BTS was a thing, with all the players, all the coaches, the equipment guys, and the team to see how it worked. And by the way, that was back when I was like having kids. So I was like on the road, beat reporter, and then hosting in studio every 4 or 5 nights a week, and pregnant, like, and having kids. So that was like my favorite time because I was still like living my dream as a sportscaster, trying to get to ESPN, and
you're part of the team.
But then having kids, and then the players were like protective of me, you know, on the field, pregnant and everything. Like it was just a cool time, you know.
I think Ray Lewis is the scariest guy.
When did you know you wanted to get into journalism? Like, how'd you start?
I was 11 when I told my mom and dad I wanted to be a sportscaster.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like little girl. And my dad he played college football. And so at Army at West Point. And so I just wanted to like hang out with my dad. And so on weekends, watching football, watching basketball, that's how I got to do it. You know, when he wasn't at our sporting events, I was with him watching, and I just knew, this might sound cheesy to you, but this is legit. Like I knew that the best way to be involved in sports, since I couldn't play, was to talk about it. But I'm an Army kid. Dad was, like I said, West Point, like lived all over the world. And everything was super structured military, and watching all those games in different countries. When we lived in Greece, we lived in Belgium. The national anthem played every time. Everybody stood up, no matter where you were in the world. It was like unifying to watch NFL games. And what I saw as a kid was that sports brought people together. So on a football Sunday, it doesn't matter your race, your politics, your religion, your socioeconomic status. Like, you're at the Dolphins game. They suck this year, but you're at any game, and what's happening for those 3 hours? You're like high-fiving strangers, and like you're all on the same team. And I felt that as a kid, and I was like, this is so cool to be in an environment where everybody's like high-fiving and happy and cheering or booing, whatever it is. Like, I wanted to be in that. That's literally where it started. And then it was like, okay, I was super shy. I was like weirdo shy.
It is kind of funny how you can be at a football game drinking beers, and then the guy next to you you've never met becomes your best friend for
Really?
Especially if you're drinking beers.
You have to.
Yeah. Like,
It's
You
part
share
of
the
it.
same action.
yeah.
It's actually the only place
favors.
I will have a beer is at
Party
a game.
gamers at a football game is crazy.
Yeah, have you
What'd
never
you
seen the
say?
clip of the guy, the Eagles guy that got caught?
No.
You've never seen it? Look it
No.
up after this.
Please send it to me. No.
I can't find that clip anywhere.
Has there
but,
ever
What
been
was
a
it?
player?
What was it?
Hold on.
this guy was rooting for the Eagles, and he just had a bag of cocaine in his hand.
wow.
And they
Oh,
caught
that.
him on camera.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
No, I'm not saying I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying it's crazy what you
No,
see.
I didn't see it, but it's Philly, so it's
Philly,
typical.
so it's
I mean, we're
okay.
not surprised it's Philadelphia, right?
There's probably a lot of cocaine at football games, right?
Probably. You know your stuff really well, so I want to know your top 3 NFL players, top 3 NBA players, in your opinion.
Okay. Favorites, or like, it isn't even a favorite thing as far as like total respect for Tom Brady.
Obviously.
I know, but like, I didn't want to. Do you know what turned me
What's that?
against the Falcons, that Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I
It's
mean,
the greatest performance.
Yeah,
ever.
like, and I always respect him. It's not that I didn't like him. I just never been around him. And, it's like everything was so perfect. His life was so, I'm like, oh, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously the GOAT, and anyone who argues with that is stupid. I grew up in love with John Elway.
I'm from Denver.
I know. He's like,
No,
duh.
he was a god there. It was actually crazy. He was the man. He ran the whole state. Like,
I know.
yeah,
So I moved there in 1984. What year was he drafted?
97,
83.
83. Fuck.
With-
sorry.
Dan Marino,
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that class of 83 was like arguably, I think, the all-time greatest quarterback class drafted ever. And so I moved there in 84, and I was like, I'm not from Colorado, but I moved there, and I was like, what is this? Like Orange Crush Sunday? Like, I memorized all the jerseys and names of like the offensive line. Carl Mecklenburg was number 77. Rulon Jones, 75, is the center. Like, I was obsessed. And so what I saw was Elway like taking over a whole state. So I would wear his jersey to church on Sundays. I dressed up as Mrs. Elway for Halloween every year because I was like weird obsessed with him. I wrote him a letter once. Yeah, I don't know if he got it. Probably
Not, right?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I was like, I mean, I was like in high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi, if you ever need a babysitter, like, I'm a really good babysitter and I won't charge. Like, this is how weird I was. But no, you understand, Colorado was like,
He still is like the man there. It's
he
crazy.
hasn't aged very well.
No.
Ugh.
But yeah. I mean, I don't want to throw shade at him because he's like the GOAT there, but
But be honest,
yeah, I mean,
he's had his issues. Okay, so that's just my personal favorite.
he's been a frat boy for his whole life. So
Yeah, even at Stanford. Yeah, for sure. I mean, people forget that he was drafted by, wasn't it the Yankees?
I don't know the baseball.
He was drafted first round of Major League Baseball.
Didn't he get drafted to the Colts and his dad wouldn't let him play for them?
Correct.
Yeah.
So then I moved to the Colts, or to the Indiana after Colorado. And of course, my John Elway love was not received well there because they're like, yeah, I mean, that changes your franchise forever if you have John Elway look, right? Eventually we got our Super Bowls, didn't we?
Yeah.
It took a minute.
Yeah.
So Elway, and then I'd say, my all-time favorite player, all time, Walter Payton. Sweetness. Like, the most incredible, humble athlete probably the NFL has ever seen. My dad, when we would watch him play for the Bears, he would be like, watch him. He scored a touchdown and he would trot off the field and he'd hand the ball to the official, to someone on the sidelines, and walk off. And he'd be like, see, kids, act like you've been there. that's how you want to be in life. You don't have to showboat and again, that was before everything was viral and everything. But I was taught from my military dad, like, that's how you handle things with class and grace. And it's like, yeah, that's my job. I score touchdowns. So like I love him as a person. I got to meet Jarrett Payton, who worked at ESPN for a while. And
you didn't like the Deion Sanders celebrations?
I thought they were fun. It's not my style. And I covered Deion. His last year in the NFL was with the Ravens, who I covered in 2005. Yeah, like I haven't talked to him in a while, but we'll still keep in touch. I loved it. I mean, Prime was one of one.
Yeah.
You know, and he changed the sport in so many ways and went and played baseball, right? I mean, these two sport athletes on that professional level is really crazy. It's just not my style. Sweetness. Like he was, but again, it's a different era. And who's like that now? Who's super humble? I mean, certainly not any receivers. That's not.
That runs the ball like that?
Right. I mean, they're divas. No.
I mean, Saquon's kind of like that.
I love Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of my favorites of, like, today's generation.
He's a team guy.
Yeah.
And he's the man, so.
Yeah. And celebrations are fine. But you asked me my favorite back then of all time, Walter Payton. I liked Tony Dorsett, too. But it's like a whole. I mean, who didn't love O.J. Simpson, to be honest with you? Like, take away the crazy after football, but during football, you know? Unfortunately, you have to separate a lot now. Like, you have the athlete and you have the human being. And I'm like, if I could just focus on the athlete, like, love you, love you, love you.
Did you have any interactions with him when he played for the Bills?
No, I never met him. I'm not that old.
R.I.P. OJ. We had him on the podcast once.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, we had him on.
What year was that?
When was that? Stein? He was
2 years ago.
When did he die?
2 or 3 years ago.
When did he die? Like a year ago?
Yeah.
How was he?
He's charming.
And he fooled us.
He's very charming.
Did you go deep about, the murder?
They told us that we couldn't ask that question, but like we had to.
How'd he handle it?
Well, again, I'm being honest. He was so charming. Like we met him. We're like, fuck, he's so charming.
You're like, there's no way he did it. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, it's like kind of hard to believe that you're like with a murderer, right? In a way, especially when he's like so nice and stuff. And we're just talking about his career. And then the whole time, like I knew I had to ask the question. So I was just like, I had to get like 6 happy dads in me to like ask him. So I kept like just trying to get a little more hammered. And then eventually we were just like, so like, do you think the killer's like still out there?
No,
like,
you didn't.
Yeah,
he did. It was
and then
terrifying.
he said it's still like, he basically said that he didn't want to talk about it, right?
He said, I don't want to talk about that right
But
now.
you didn't say, yeah, he's still out there.
I think he said he's still out there or like something like that.
Yeah, he's sitting right in front
Yeah,
of
he's
you.
sitting right in front of us.
Imagine you
but-
got him to just say it.
Well, we were also at like a restaurant and there was like cutlery on the table and like there was a knife. So I was just like,
thinking
dude,
about
I didn't
the
wanna,
butter knife right in front of you.
Like a fork. I don't know.
And he was sitting right next to him.
Yeah, I was right next
I at
to
least
him.
had a
And no, yeah,
gap.
and the table was like, it wasn't like this. It was like the smallest booth table of all time. Like it couldn't have been a worse setup for OJ Simpson.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, once the cameras are off.
We got the hell out of there, yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, we got the hell out of there.
Was he big still?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's older.
Big guy, yeah, he was a big guy.
We
Yeah.
pulled up in a Bronco, too.
Shut up.
Yeah, we did.
Shut up. On
Yeah.
purpose?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
We did.
That's
We did.
amazing.
We were going to film it, but I don't think he wanted to be a part of it. Yeah.
Was it white?
No, we couldn't get one.
It was
that
last
fast.
minute.
That
Yeah.
would have been too obvious. He would have been like,
Oh, we put it in the video, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
that's amazing.
Fuck.
No, but like he was awesome to watch. And then when you look back at all those old commercials, like everyone in America loved him. He's handsome. He had the smile. He's hurtling over chairs in the airport. Like he was OJ. It's so sad. I know. NBA, Michael, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry's sick.
Yeah,
I love him.
I love Steph.
I love him. And like
That guy's a winner. I like stuff. too.
totally, right?
He's
and
a winner.
that's what we were talking about earlier. Like you talk about loyal and wanting to
Like
stay.
I want to play with that guy. Like if I
Right?
was in the NBA, yeah, like I would love to play with Steph
I
Curry.
know.
Think about the Ayesha Curry stuff.
No comment.
That shit's wild. You can't lie. The thing she said.
One of my daughters sent me one of the clips and she's like, Mom, I'm so disappointed. Why? And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes you like to think things are taken out of context. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't watch that show, that podcast. I know she's crushing it, but I don't know. She's always been like super cool with me. The kids, I've seen them from a distance really growing up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I do know that like, no matter what the public sees, and how perfect life looks for couples.
Mm-hmm.
You can be billionaires, and I mean, she's beautiful, and he's beautiful, and the kids are beautiful, and life's beautiful, and you have rings, and everybody's got something.
It's almost like the more people flex it too, I find. Like the more people flex it on social media, it's like they're trying, not Steph, but just other relationships too. It's like the more they're trying to prove it to everybody.
Yeah, like what's that?
Yeah.
I agree, but everybody has, in a marriage, right? Everybody has. I got married 2 months ago, you guys.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Hi, yes.
Congratulations.
2 months. Thanks. Obviously, round 2 for both of us, but like, I could not be in a better relationship, marriage. Like, I'm so grateful to him, to God, to like life, for the journey that it took to get here. I'm almost 53. He's almost 50. Like, it's been a long, and I literally wouldn't change anything. It doesn't mean there's not still stuff, right? But like, everybody's got something.
Yeah.
My parents just celebrated their 54th wedding anniversary. 54
Wow.
years. And by the way, super hard. My mom's white, dad's black. They got married in 1971, right after interracial marriage became legal. They saw some stuff. They went through some stuff. Like, it was not easy. And to me, they're perfect, perfectly imperfect. Like, they've got stuff, even though they are obviously, after 54 years, true soulmates. So I feel like I try not to judge that part, because I've been judged for stuff less important than a marriage. You know what I mean? But I love what they've done. Those babies are perfect. Like, most importantly, Stephen Curry to me has handled everything. Like,
Yeah.
I
with
wonder what he
class.
thinks about that situation.
Don't you wonder with when people go public like that with kind of
Yeah, it's out
personal
there
stuff?
now, yeah.
I'm like, well, number one, why? Number two, what is that conversation like later when you're like, really? Like, why'd you say that for the world to see? So I'd love to be a fly on the wall and hear what happens when, again, we've seen it. Many people besides the Currys, but like, wouldn't you want to be a fly on the wall and listen to that conversation after, or not? Maybe I'd want to get the heck out. But it's easy for us to judge from here, and I don't know. I know that I would not say something like that about someone that I love, but teach his own.
Has there ever been an athlete that you've interviewed that you were like absolutely starstruck by?
Well, first of all, I would get nervous a lot. Even people that I knew, I was nervous more times than I wasn't. But I channeled it. Like, I figured out how to channel it to make me to work through it. And I used it like as adrenaline and crunch time, because whether you're ready or not, if you have Stephen Curry, who I interviewed several times one-on-one, sitting right there, like, you have a 10:30 start, he walks in right at 10:29, like, ready or not, he's sitting down, you better go. Like, that's pressure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you suck, you're not going to get another chance ever again. So I was always a little nervous. For me, it was healthy. I just had to learn how to handle it and not eat leading up to it when I was younger. When I was older, especially on SportsCenter, whereas I was doing 2 live hours every single day, like, you got to go, and you have new people and superstars in every day, or just your buddy Adam Schefter, who's one of my favorite humans. And I was always really nervous.
Yeah.
Talking, one thing I did for Michael Jordan once, I hosted his charity event when he was still with the Charlotte Hornets. And I was super nervous for that because it's his team. It's part of the ownership. And I'm emceeing this big charity event for the franchise. And he was sitting at the table, front row center right there. Like, they introduce you, come out on stage. I wanted to vomit because, he was my favorite athlete. Back in the day, we'd all watched him play, dominate the way he did. And then to be asked to do that, I remember that's pressure, because they were trusting me. And if I screw that up, again, you never get asked again. So all of them are high pressure situations. You just have to learn to do it. And if you don't, no big deal. You won't have a job. But it's that simple. You have to push through it.
If you were going to start a NBA franchise tomorrow, would you rather have SGA or Nikola Jokic?
How old are they now?
SGA is probably 27, I think. Joker is probably 30, 31 maybe.
I think I still go with Joker.
Thank you.
I just love his demeanor he doesn't even like anything associated with basketball. Half the time he doesn't even like basketball. Right. But he's just all business. And then he goes home to his, what is it? A horse farm or cattle farm?
Yeah.
Where he's from. You can't produce big men like that with that skill set.
Right.
You can't. I love SGA though. but it would be Joker.
Okay, cool. Just wanna make
So
sure.
otherwise, he's like, okay, you're out. Like, did you see him? He was like, okay, good. Or else.
The MVP, like,
People hated it. People hated
don't
that
get
Joker
that.
was winning.
I'm gonna say it. He did get robbed one year by
I agree.
Embiid.
I agree.
And that wasn't talked about enough.
I agree.
So
I think we know what that was.
Yeah.
I agree.
So yeah.
Who do you think wins MVP this year? I know it's early
Like
on
a
in the
week into
season.
the season.
Yeah, but if you were to give a prediction,
I don't know.
there's like a couple guys, right? SGA, Joker, Wemby could possibly win it. But
Can he stay
even though it's
healthy?
early in the season,
If
you
he
were to take a
stays
guess.
healthy, yeah. I don't know. I will say, look out for my Pacers. Look out for Rick Carlisle and what he does with that team, who were super close. I know people are like, oh my God, Indiana, Oklahoma City finals. Like, this is the worst thing ever. It's good. I'm biased because that was my first team that I covered, Reggie Miller, like those days. The problem with us that time is that our timing, which was what? Pacers in the East, Michael, Bulls. Like, couldn't do anything about that. We had no chance to ever win because Michael was there. So I think this is Indiana's time. I think it could easily be a rematch in the finals. I don't know how many people would like that, but I think it could. These small market teams, like every once in a while, it's kind of cool, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like it's kind of cool to see them. And that's all that there is. Like in Indiana, I went to Indiana University. Like it is basketball, though now we're a football school. Thank you. Number 2 in the country. But I think it's awesome for the sport where it's not just the Knicks, the Lakers, you know what I mean? I mean, the Knicks, that's a whole different story and issue.
Well, everyone wanted the Celtics too, so.
And Jason Tatum is one of my favorite players. I love him. It's an interesting situation in Boston. I feel like every year there's a million questions going in.
There's got to be something behind the scenes between just him and Jaylen Brown. Like,
yeah, it seems like it's been kind of like for a lot of years now. I love Jason. One time before I left ESPN, I think it might still be online with ESPN or Disney Plus, whatever. But it was called Up Close. Up Close with Sage Steele, and it was Up Close with Rory Firestone back in the day for anybody who might remember. But I went to St. Louis and spent the day with Jason, and we went back to like his childhood home that's as big as this couch, and like with his mom, and he went deep about like his dad and some really difficult things. It's very emotional. So again, when you sit down and have conversations with people and like get to know more than just the superstar part, you see their why. And I love that with him. I totally forgot about your question though. I don't know. Maybe it is SGA. Like, I don't know. I feel like at Christmas, when you get to Christmas Day NBA games where there's 5 of them, right? I mean, 5, they're like the big ones on ABC, ESPN, TNT. That's when you put your MVP bet in. I know like all the gambling sites, you do it now, but for me, then you have enough of a sample size. And that's when people start paying attention anyway to the NBA. You got to get to the beginning of the calendar year once football is in the playoffs and winding down, you know, that's the problem. Like football dominates everything. It's not a problem. It's a good thing, but it dominates everything, every conversation, you know what I mean? Year round. There's like no time off from football. So the NBA comes in second a little bit. And then the NHL, of course, is always like
way down,
third place. Yeah. But the problem is the playoffs are at the same time. Like it's so hard. How would you change that? Because I want hockey to get more love, but when you're competing with the NBA at the exact same time, Stanley Cup, NBA Finals games, you know?
Yeah.
Who's your guy?
I've always loved Kyrie. Irving, man.
Me too.
He's such a great ball handler.
Yeah.
He's great at scoring. His finesse. I love Kyrie.
How old
Steph
is Kyrie
Curry, too.
now?
like 34.
Like 32? 33?
Older than that. For
Yeah.
sure.
34, 35, I think.
Yeah, he's a bit older. Yeah, 34.
Think about that. I was there for that 2016 finals that they won. Thanks to Kyrie, not LeBron. Thanks to Kyrie. Of course, LeBron.
Well, the block, too.
Kyrie won.
Hit that. Yeah, that was crazy.
Kyrie won that series. And can we give Kyrie some love now?
Oh, yeah.
After like getting crushed during COVID and people murdered him for walking away from his $34 million a year salary because he didn't want to get the shot. The things that everybody said about him, I know Stephen A came out recently and it's like, yeah, Kyrie was right. Nobody's apologizing to him. Like nobody. The world crushed him and he was right.
And he never got it.
He never got it. He walked away from that season. Like I give him so much credit for that. That is super hard. And I remember being on air and everybody's just like, you don't care and it's selfish and your teammates. Like it's bigger than that. I guarantee you that all these other athletes that say they got it did not. There's no way. Like, I remember at the beginning, LeBron said, I spend $1 million a year on my body, like outside of work and all the training and the nutrition and all that stuff. You're not just going to put some experimental shot in your body when you're them. And then remember he said it, and then they silenced him. And then all of a sudden it was just quiet. There is no way in hell.
No way
these guys got it. They got it was water that they did, so they could say, yeah, we gave him a shot.
I got a fake Vax card for $1,000. That was the best $1,000.
You did?
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's good. I mean, it's gone now, but it was the best 1,000.
So you never got it?
No.
Why?
Never got it either, yeah.
I just didn't see the need to get it.
Totally.
Did you get it, Steiny?
My parents fucking pressured me.
Or you did, right? Yeah, you did.
I get it. No, that's my whole thing. I got it because I had to, because I had been public enough about the fact that I didn't want to, that I was looking into a fake, and I was like, if I get, like, they're going to come triple check me because I've mouthed off about it.
It was tougher for you.
And then if I get caught, my life is over.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago when this is happening, when I was getting forced to do it. So I still am like mad. I've had to like forgive myself for doing it at that time, but I had to keep my job.
Yeah.
Millions of people did. Like, I'm one of millions. So there's no sympathy here. I'm just saying. But like for Kyrie, for him to take that stand
publicly,
and every single person was killing him. And is he unique and different? And they say the earth is flat, like all that. Fine. But like at the end of the day, Kyrie is true to himself. How many other guys are?
Michael Porter Jr.
That's interesting.
He's true to himself.
He
in
is.
a different way.
Yeah, I guess he is. And so is his brother. But
that's
like,
one of our other guys too, MPJ.
I met him when he was in high school at Steph Curry's camp. I always loved him. His dad.
He talks very openly.
He does. I respect it. Like, it is rare. How about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Same thing. He got killed. Aaron and I were getting canceled at the same time. So I remember I was like a month into my cancellation for the COVID thing. And then his happened. I texted him right away and I was like, dude, stay strong. And so we became, closer friends after that because of this whole thing. And he was like, the number of people, star top name athletes in my sport, in the NFL, who were calling him, who were like, yeah, dude, you're right. I'm with you. But then what would they do? They get in front of a microphone in the podium for their press conferences and say the opposite. So you can think Aaron and Kyrie and everybody is weird or whatever it is, but guess what? Those guys, they had the balls to say the truth, and in the toughest possible time. And now everybody's just quiet because they were right. I wish I had the strength that you two did.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
No, this was great. You're very cool. You're cool as fuck.
No, thank you guys. I would love to come down your way though.
Yeah, we should do some more stuff together.
I would love it. And I'll take, like I told you, I'm super new to this whole
some advice
world. And it's
I feel like there needs to be a sports show on YouTube, but something that's more like quick, because you're doing like long form pods, right?
Yeah,
we should set up like a sports show under full send with Sage Steele and have maybe 2 or 1 other person on the panel and like just
takes.
Well, I'll tell you what else. It should
like
be
whatever like
should be a little edgier too.
No, it has to be.
Because there's not
you're
enough
like
of that.
so cool. You could just obviously be yourself and it'd be so easy.
That's the best part about getting canceled. As in, you don't care.
You don't care.
I'm like, go for it, guys. I have been literally called everything. Death threats. Like, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. Like, go for it. And every day I'm like, isn't it weird I'm still here? And like, actually now, better off than when because they try to scare you into silence, right? And then you go, what? So it's cool because now I literally don't care. It's so nice. I'm just sad it took me so long because I'm old. I'm like, dang, like you guys are like, you have your whole life and thank you. Yeah. Life and like
53. I would never guess that.
Thank you.
I thought you were 30, 33.
Black don't crack. That's what they say. No, but like seriously, it's such I just wish like people didn't wait as long as I had, to
get canceled.
Yeah, to get canceled. No, to not be afraid of like what happens if you're yourself, and then it's like, it's easier, So like, I'm jealous of you guys in a healthy, respectful way because you guys got it before I did.
Yeah. So I think we've been through a lot of the same stuff probably.
Well, but that's the thing is people see your life now and they're probably like, oh, no, boys, and you guys have this, and you're making all this money and it's fame and no one gave it to you.
No.
You had to go make this and create it and earn it and learn and fall on your face and get back up. And no one talks about that. They just want to talk about your success. So I Mad respect.
Yeah, you as well.
Same to you.
Thank
Thank you
y'all.
so much.
Thank you.
Check out
Thank you for
Sage's,
coming to my home. Sage
podcast.
Steele
We'll put
Show.
it in the description.
Thank you.
How often do you upload on that?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
It's
Okay.
because it's long form.
I'm gonna tap in more.
Will you?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming to you guys too. I mean, if I get you on camera saying yes, you'll come on my show, then you have to, right? So can you?
Yeah, we'll
you're recording on this.
Absolutely.
You're still rolling.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Great. So
Yeah.
now you have no choice. Okay.
Let's do it.
do it.
No, let's do it.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Sage Steele, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys.
That's amazing.
Thank you for
Let's go.
having me. Thank you. Thank you.